one from France or something. I don't know. Something to think of. Thank you.
Other questions or comments?
We're talking a movie theater an awful lot. For some reason, that really bothered me when those times. I'm like, they're talking in a movie theater. Shut up!
It was empty. It's
Oh,
supposed to be
okay. Oh, it
empty.
was empty.
But they're empty theaters.
Well,
It's $80 theaters.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day. So it was, I think it's in the description of the first one. It's supposed to be empty though, and that she's the only one there, and that's why you notice it's there. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have cared.
Good point.
I have a quick question.
Yeah,
I mean, of all the, I mean, you know, I know how it is when you're trying to think of random like ideas, what genre it is. How do you guys end up selling on 16th century Parisian, like, the whole period? I mean, it's cool, but I'm just like, wow, that's pretty, like,
Specific?
like where did that come from, you know?
In the first draft, the film within a film was just a period piece because we were like, okay, that's what they like or that's what they want to do. And then when we talked to Marie, and she doctored it for us, and then we did a rewrite, and her suggestion was to make a reason for Viola to be on the set still and for her not to get fired, because that's a good point. She would have been fired a long time ago if she was acting like an idiot like that. But so basically we were like, okay, well, she could be a historian, and Grant is important, so he wants her on the set, and because she's a historian, and so.
Well, the 16th century though came, I think it was because I had watched the movie. Trying to remember which one. I think it was one of the Elizabeths or something.
Oh, okay.
And then I know it. I was like, what's the exciting part of British French? And then we had to think about British and French conflicts. And there's a lot, but not any like, or actually there wasn't that many wars.
Yeah,
they just hate each other, but like there was a couple, and then that one happened. The Battle of Boulogne just happened to be in the 16th century, so I was like, done, 16th century.
And then the reason why we kind of went with that one was also because of the there were the people in England who, remember, they wanted to kick out the Queen.
Oh yeah, because
she
Elizabeth,
turned
yeah.
it into a Catholic church.
No, she was Protestant,
Protestant,
and everybody else was Catholic.
yeah. So.
Cool. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was
it's
listening,
totally
I was like,
inspired by other movies.
I was like, wow, where did they get that idea? Like, you know, the whole, it's pretty cool though. I enjoyed it a lot, especially the actors you guys chose. Was it all actors you guys chose? Like,
Yeah, except for one. She's an actress, but she's also a student, a classmate. But everybody else is from LA.
Yeah.
Or
the coordinators this year did a pretty amazing job of reaching out to LA casting, and I think you had like 400 hits of people.
Yeah, 400 people were interested.
wow.
I guess like 20% showed up.
Right. Good. But we had 2 nights of casting, and
you'll see these actors again.
so we had a very good turnout for that, and a great response from actors. Because a lot of times you'll see the writers up here. And actually tonight the only, not that that's bad, that's great. That's great, you guys acting each other's scripts. So.
Well, we did do it.
But tonight the only writer who was up here was actually also an actor, who was Marie, who played Rachel, right? Yeah, I agree that, and the accents were great. So you didn't have to really have to work on that, they sort of had those already?
Yeah, Simon
right.
Australian, so I was like, that's easy.
It's an American accent.
Yeah, that was the hard part. I was trying to get him to do American.
I have a couple questions, but any questions you all have? Okay, you can think for a minute. I want to ask you all, so hearing this script, now you're sitting there, you're hearing it, real people say it. My first question is, when you're hearing this, what scene did you love that you definitely wouldn't change? You love it. You're just like, oh my God, I love that.
I already know. Yeah, I love Efron. I wrote Efron and had so much fun with it. And he has some great lines. So there's 2, I guess, scenes with him in it, but especially that one where he's like, Matthew, don't live like that. It's not a bloody musical.
Right.
I love Efron, and his name's Efron because it's Nora Ephron homage. But anyway,
I got that.
yeah.
Let's see, would I never change? It's hard to pick one out. I mean, I agree. Efron is like my favorite.
Or I know we both crack up, but the one in the bedroom, or when they're Grant and Viola are breaking up.
Oh yeah. Want to have sex?
Yeah. I love that one. After the rewrite, I was like, this is awesome. That's great.
I guess I have to agree. Efron is definitely a keeper.
Any other scenes in it? I think.
I know. I think.
I don't know. I just love that.
I have to. I mean, this doesn't really come across in a reading, I think, but just the whole smoking thing, because like when they're in the Mini Cooper waiting because it's raining and. Okay, so they're like Mini Cooper and they're pretty much like hotboxing it with cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
I don't know why that image to me is hilarious. And
That
also,
was
that's
the
because she has
secondhand smoker.
and then that's another reference. To
I
that.
love that.
And then also, my favorite theme or mini theme is the homeless man. I just think he's awesome. So in the beginning when they're
we were actually gonna put him in the Viper room too and have him like walk in like all cool and they let him in and they're getting kicked out.
Do you
But
have
we
to
thought it
get
would
free
make it too much.
Do you have any free time?
Yeah, that would have been 4 if we put him again.
So also for screenwriting, usually you put something in 3 times. You set it up, develop it, and punch it like a joke. So I think Christine meant there were some places where she thought there was 2 beats, not 3 beats. That's what she was referring to. So my next question is, so you're watching it, you're hearing people listen to it, and what was the scene where you're like, oh God, I can't wait to change that? If there was such a scene.
To be honest, I think one of my main things is I would probably tone down the language. I actually talked to the producer of my internship a couple days ago about like language, and I was like, what do people think when or like what do you think when you're reading a script and you see like the F word? And he's like, I usually immediately just like either they have to take it out or unless it's like an amazing script, like they usually don't like a lot of cursing. And then when I was sitting here, I was like, oh, it's coming, the F-bomb's coming. And then, and then there's like so many of them, and I was like, wow. Like,
Well, you were also sitting with your folks.
Yeah. I was like, just so you know, Mom and Dad, this is going to get dirty.
It's not nearly as bad as their other one. This one's like PG.
Compared to Naughty Knickers, they are the co-writers of another script with Crystal and Travana who are in the audience, and it happens in a lingerie store, so.
Nice.
So
For
I think,
me,
yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't care about language, but I had a lot of little things, like little continuity things, I guess just thinking of filmmaker perspective, that I started noticing, like, is there 1 bed in his room or 2 beds in his villa? Is there, is this supposed to be here or over here? And things like that. That, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that noticed, but these little tiny things, but the only scene that I got a comment from about it being awkward.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah. With Sean trying to get her back. He was like, I don't know, I like the uncomfortableness of, I guess, his ambiguous sexuality or something, or not quite sure, what he's getting at type thing.
I thought he was trying to get her back because she was famous and rich.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we went for, but we weren't, I don't
Because
know.
he saw her and she's somebody now.
Yeah, well, he was originally supposed to be that kind of guy, like a Yuki type and stuff, but I don't know if that was established well enough.
I think I've also begun to realize like some of the dialogue is a little lengthy. like, okay, she can stop talking now. And then, but she doesn't.